If you flicked through a kitchen brochure, scrolled a renovation account, or walked into a showroom, chances are you've seen a shaker door. It has become the default starting point for so many kitchens that it's easy to forget it wasn't designed for kitchens at all. So in this video, I want to unpick exactly that. Where the shaker kitchen actually comes from, how it's built, how it's evolved, and why, out of every style going, this one just refuses to date. What is a shaker kitchen? At its core, a shaker kitchen is one built around shaker-style cabinet doors. A flat, recessed center panel surrounded by a plain, square-edged frame made from two vertical stiles and two horizontal rails. No carved detail, no raised panels, no fussy moldings, and that simplicity is the whole point. There's nothing to distract the eye and nothing dated about the shape itself, which is a big part of why it's lasted. The name comes from the Shakers, a religious community that split off from the Quakers in Manchester, England, back in 1747 and later settled in America. During that time, ornamentation was seen as a kind of dishonesty to them, a way of hiding a piece's true construction. So they stripped it all away and focused on proportion, joinery, and the quality of the timber instead. The door style wasn't designed as a look, it was a byproduct of a community trying to build things that were useful, well made, and free of vanity. Fast forward to now, though, and the term shaker kitchen gets used pretty loosely these days. Some people mean the traditional five-piece door with a proper recessed panel. Others mean anything with a visible frame and a bit of a shadow line, including doors that aren't built the traditional way at all. And in my experience, when a client tells me they want a shaker kitchen, what they usually mean is something calm, classic, and not too fussy. The shaker door has just become the shorthand for that. How a shaker door is actually constructed. It's worth understanding the construction because it explains a lot about why the style has aged so well and where the modern versions differ. A traditional shaker door is what's called a five-piece door. Two vertical stiles, two horizontal rails, and a flat recessed panel fitted into a groove within the frame. The joints are typically mortise and tenon, and that construction lets the timber expand and contract slightly with humidity and temperature without the door warping or cracking, which was a genuinely clever bit of practical engineering for the time. Originally, shaker furniture makers used whatever timber was locally available: cherry, oak, pine, maple, or birch, often left natural or painted in simple, flat colours. Modern kitchen doors borrow the shape, but often change the materials. Solid wood is still available and closest to the original construction. Beautiful, but it moves with the seasons and needs a little bit more upkeep. Some manufacturers now route the shaker profile out of a single solid panel rather than building a genuine five-piece frame. It can look identical from the front, but it changes how the door performs over time and how it feels when you touch and interact with it. Five-piece MDF painted is probably the most common cost-effective option in today's kitchens. It's dimensionally stable, doesn't warp or crack the way timber can, and it takes a sprayed paint finish quite well. Most factory painted shaker doors you'll see in the big box showrooms are probably MDF. And then there's the mix of both, a middle ground often used to keep costs down slightly while still keeping a wood effect finish. The frame of the door, the stiles and the rails are made from solid timber. Oak, walnut, or ash is quite popular for painted finishes. Then the center panel is MDF, sometimes plywood, and sometimes with a real wood veneer on the outside to give that look and texture. This is what can change the price point. Having the center panel done like this is a deliberate technical choice to prevent warping, twisting, and any splitting. If you're comparing quotes, ask specifically what the door is made from and how it's actually constructed. Neither is wrong, you just want to know which one you're paying for. Modern day shaker. Same look, different kitchen. So are today's shaker kitchens really the same as the originals? Not quite. and I think that's fine. The shakers themselves would probably be baffled by a matte navy shaker kitchen with a waterfall quartz island and polished brass handles. Their version was about honesty and restraint, not styling. What's happened is the shape's been borrowed and reinterpreted over and over, while the religious and philosophical context behind it has fallen away. Which is why shaker now functions more as a door profile than a complete design philosophy. You'll see it in period and cottage kitchens, painted in muted heritage colours with a farmhouse sink and a traditional handle. But you'll also see it in contemporary kitchens in matte, bold colours with slim frames and integrated handles. In budget kitchens as an affordable MDF door, and in high-end bespoke kitchens hand-built in solid wood with subtle detailing. And this is one of the reasons I recommend it so often. It's not one look. It's a framework that adapts to whatever the rest of the room is doing. Why are shaker kitchens so popular? So coming back to the main question, I think there's a few reasons. It's timeless, not just trend adjacent. Most kitchen trends have a shelf life. Gloss handleless kitchens had their moment. Shaker hasn't really gone through that boom and bust cycle because the shape itself doesn't chase a decade. It looked appropriate in a Georgian farmhouse 100 years ago, and it looks appropriate in a new build now. It's incredibly versatile. A shaker door doesn't commit you to a design era. Paint it that heritage sage green with brass knobs and it reads country. Paint it a matte charcoal with black bar handles and it reads modern industrial. Same door, completely different personality. That flexibility means it rarely dates a house the way a very of-the-moment style can. It's not too showy. There's a quiet confidence to a well-proportioned shaker kitchen that a lot of homeowners are drawn to right now. It doesn't shout. It lets the worktop, the hardware, the lighting, and the room itself do more of the talking. And honestly, if you're not sure what your personal style is yet, a shaker door gives you room to figure that out through the little details and accessories rather than committing hard to one look straight away. It also carries an association with quality. Even people who've never heard of the actual shaker community associate the door with being well made, honest, and durable. That reputation was earned. It came from real furniture makers who genuinely built things to last, and somehow that association has survived. It can suit almost any budget. You can get a shaker style door in budget MDF for a fraction of the cost of a bespoke solid wood version, and it will still look considered. And not many styles scale that well, from flat pack all the way to fully bespoke, without losing their identity. It photographs and resells very well. If resale value matters to you, the neutral shaker kitchen tends to have the broadest appeal to future buyers. It's the safest bet if you're renovating with one eye on the property market rather than purely for yourself. And it's practical to live with. No carved detail means fewer places for grease, dust, and grime to collect. It's easier to wipe down than a heavily ornamented traditional door, which matters more than people expect once you're actually living with it day to day. The shaker evolution. Once a design has been around this long, it inevitably starts to splinter into sub-styles. So here are some of the main ones you might come across. The slim or skinny shaker. This is the version that's had a real moment recently. It keeps the same recessed panel and frame construction as a traditional shaker door, but the stiles and the rails are noticeably narrower, often around a third to a half the width of a traditional frame. The effect is a lighter, more contemporary feel that sits somewhere between a full shaker door and a contemporary flat slab. The beaded shaker, this adds a small decorative bead line around the inside edge of the frame close to the panel, a subtle nod to more traditional country-style joinery, and it works nicely in period properties. And there's even a handleless shaker. This keeps the recessed panel and frame, but swaps external handles for an integrated handle or a recessed rail, so the door still reads of shaker, but a cleaner, more streamlined finish overall. When a shaker kitchen isn't the right call. Now, I don't think any style suits every kitchen, and I'd be doing you a disservice if I pretended shaker was the answer for everyone. If you're after a very sleek, ultra minimalist architectural look, a flat slab door with no frame at all will usually suit you better. You can also start to feel a little safe if every single cupboard door in your house is the shaker style, painted in a similar tone with the same handles throughout. Shaker kitchens have stuck around this long for a good reason. They're simple enough to suit almost any home, adaptable enough to follow whatever color or hardware trend you're into this year, and rooted in a design philosophy that was never trying to impress anyone in the first place. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. If anything, as trends keep speeding up around it, the shaker door's refusal to chase them is exactly what makes it feel more relevant, not less. So I'm curious, have you already got a shaker kitchen, or is it the door style you're currently leaning towards? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll like this one, where I go through some of the other popular kitchen design styles and what makes each one work. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.